Okay, so welcome to my video on firing the 58 caliber Enfield rifle. This is the rifle I'll be using and the accoutrements. This is the 1853 rifle Enfield. This is a close-up of the lock. Stock and barrel. These are some of the cartridges I'll be using, and you can see how I made those in one of my other videos. This is some of the other equipment. A cap box, cartridge box, and then just really for show the bayonet, scabbard, and frog. Okay, this is speed. I'm going to see how many I can do in a minute. And that's a minute. I got one shot off. Okay, so here's the results of some of my shooting. On this small target, this was already at the range. Someone was firing a 22 at it, so I just reused the target. It was just left out there. This is my zeroing grouping. I fired 3 rounds and got 2 on the paper, nearly through the same hole, formed a figure 8, so I think that's pretty good shooting. Down here, I fired another 3 shots, kneeling and supported. So I was leaning it on a bench, leaning the rifle on a bench. And there you can see I put 2 through virtually the same hole, forming an even tighter figure 8. And then that third one on the right, just a little bit off, but a very tight grouping. So I was pretty happy with that. So as you can see, if you were leaning your rifle on a stone wall or a wooden fence or something like that, you could achieve some extreme accuracy with it. Okay, the next applications, I did 3 standing unsupported. So just completely freehand, not even using the sling. I only got 1 shot on the paper. And there it is. The other 2 were winged off, I guess. Fired another 3 kneeling. Kneeling unsupported this time, and I got 2 on the paper. And the third one winged off. But again, those 2 are pretty close, pretty tight. Okay, the next target found fairly interesting. I did 3 freestanding again, unsupported, standing, and put two very close together again, nearly in figure 8. And the third one didn't hit the paper, so I must have shanked that one off. I then did 3 kneeling again, and only got 1 on the paper. So you'd think that kneeling would be more accurate than just standing, but apparently it wasn't for me. However, this one shot was the closest I ever got to being on center target. The other 2 didn't even hit the paper. Then I did 3 standing, unsupported, but this time I did them as fast as possible, so it was like a speed, load, and fire. So I pulled one down here off to the left. So again, that's firing standing, unsupported, and with speed, as fast as I could load and fire. And the other 2, up here in the top right corner, again pretty close. So for me, it seems that standing is more accurate than kneeling, which seems counterintuitive, but there's the proof. And it seems that speed didn't have that much of a factor into it. I was still able to load, fire, and get off some decently aimed shots. Okay, this target, again, this one was standing, unsupported, and got 2 on the paper and 1 off. This last one is very interesting. This is again kneeling, and I can't seem to be able to get a decent shot kneeling. Standing, for me at least, seems to be more accurate, and I don't know how to explain that. Usually standing is the most inaccurate form of shooting, but there we are. Only got 1 on the paper, and what's funny about this is that the first 2 shots kneeling were unsupported, and the last shot was again unsupported, but I had the bayonet attached, and it dramatically changed the balance of the rifle. I found when I fired that one kneeling shot with the bayonet attached, and yet that was the one that I got on the paper, and again pretty close to center. So it seems that making it harder makes it more accurate for me. I don't know why, but there it is. That's the one shot I got on with the bayonet.